stuck in here. You know how that be. Oh.
Yeah, trying to get it out the bottom of that. Hold on, I'm gonna start the video and then I just edit this part out. All right, you ready?
Stay that.
You ready?
Stays that.
Oh, okay.
Yo, what's going on, fam? It's your boy JT3, back for episode 6 with my boy Juan.
Royal A. Shepherd. What's going on, man? How you doing today?
Same old thing, bro. You know, just another day in paradise down here in old sunny South Florida, man. How about yourself, dog?
In the spirit of being transparent, I'm not doing great. I'll be in South Florida this Friday to attend the funeral service of a mutual friend. Like, not our friend, but his mother. Our friend Chaz West lost his mother.
Yeah.
And I'll be attending that funeral on Saturday. So prayers to Chaz and Sister Kyrie, their family. But it's tough, though, because, like, me and Chaz grew up in the same church. So I grew up with his mom. And so it hurt, you know what I mean? But we got to move forward. That's the way life works. You know what I mean? You never question God and what he has in plan for people. He needed them more than we did. So, you know, we're dealing with that, but we got to keep moving.
For sure, bro. And Chaz is also a really good mutual friend of mine. We're in the same close friend group, A6. We really had just been having a chance to start to reconvene these days as men out here, man. And yeah, Miss Francina, it's just that was hard to hear. So yeah, I'll see you at that funeral this weekend as well, too, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. On a lighter note, you know, we always come here to talk sports, man. And we got a dope menu for y'all tonight. You know, I've been more around the game and I've been watching a little bit more than ever, more than recently. And I like what I see, man. The game itself is in good hands all the way around, especially when it comes to talent. But from a business and like officiating standpoint, like and they're kind of hand in hand, the game has become different. Like I'd have left the game upside down if I'd have kept playing.
Yeah. Anyway. I think what it is like there's the football of it, and then there's the money making part of it. Like it's a consumer product, you know what I mean? And so I think what happens is a lot of the times there are directives handed down that moves the game in a certain direction. And whether or not that's good for the product is, you know, up for interpretation. But if it makes dollars, then it makes sense to the NFL. That's the way it is. Its job is to make money. And so, like, to much to the chagrin of fans, like, it's going to affect the on-field product. But, you know, but even still, like, the on-field product right now is still at an all-time high. So you got to be appreciative of, like, the way that they've done it. But yeah, it is kind of aggravating to see the way some kind of politics can influence what we're watching on the field, bro.
Yeah. Then I might have been in that corner.
Hey, above. You feel me? Who saw that coming, JT? Who saw that coming, bro?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's a banger. I was playing it in the house the other day, but my mother-in-law was like, "Who's that? Juvenile?"
Might as well. That boy Jello pulled that guy straight out of 05.
Yeah, I know why she said that, because it's definitely giving, like, you know, oversized t-shirt and like throwback. Like back jersey, like
band-aids under your eye.
Yeah.
Do-rags.
That's what it's giving.
Bro. The St. Lunatics, baby. That's straight out our senior year.
Well, for one, okay, the track is slap. You know, it's up and down. Like, you gotta listen to the whole song, but just the intro is there, right? I say this, bro. LeVar be projecting his sons, bro. Like, he said this back in the clip, and I know we may not be able to put this up right this second, but he said, "Hey, Jello's special. Like he's going to be the one who ends up being the rapper." He called him out as a rapper before LeVar be knowing, man.
Listen, shout out to LeVar. Like I know people have their opinions of him, but brother, I know what good black fathers look like, and he's produced 3 successful sons, like varying levels of success. And when like even though the initial goal was to get him into the NBA, like him being able to find another lane and to be able to bubble, like I don't care if y'all think he's a one-hit wonder or it's just like a passive fact. It's one hell of a hit. I can tell you that right now. It has caught on fire. Everybody's on it, bro. Like, and it just makes you feel good, bro. It invokes like a sense of nostalgia. Like when I listen to it, bro, it takes me back to an era where life was good. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. Like when you was going down, baby, like
Yo Street in the Range Rover, bro. Life was good. So shout out to LeVar, shout out to the Ball family, shout out to LiAngelo, bro. Hopefully this parlays into much more success. I like the fact that the song is outside of the customary lane of young artists that we hear right now. Like it's old to somebody, but it's new to this generation. Y'all ain't never heard that like this. Y'all don't know nothing about the big timers. Like, So shout out to them. Like this is a great one.
I dig it. I dig it. You know, and we'll be coming out. We'll probably be coming out with our hits intro song here soon. But until we got one though.
You feel me? We ain't monetized yet. No way. They can't demonetize us.
Hey. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, look, we'll leave it right there. That's all we need to hear.
You feel me? You feel me? But yeah, LiAngelo got him one right there, man. Shout out to him. Hopefully, there's more good music coming out from him, bro. Like it at least got me invested in kind of whatever his project is.
I'll listen to whatever the next song is at this point. You got us.
You got the hook. Like
got us here.
Yeah. Got people talking. It's talked about all over everywhere, bro. I saw like Draymond Green's reaction to it. Like it's just they playing it in locker rooms. Like
and look, and as much as it's like Kiki, right? Like you know those streams running up.
Come on,
I like it.
He's like top 10. He's like top 10 in the Billboard chart. Something like he got over 1 million streams off of that. Like I like it. I'm messing with it.
Yeah. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. So I know it's been a while since we last spoke, but since then, Broward County has won the annual, Broward and Dade High School All-Star Game. Now, this is the time of year where you got, some kids are signing and going off to college. We'll talk about that in a second. But just a few weeks ago, it was All-Star Game time from the Under Armour All-American Bowl, where you had a couple of even juniors in that game, right? The kid from Chaminade, Derek Cooper, playing in the All-Star Game at All-American Bowl as a junior, right? But then you have our local, now they're calling it the Crib Classic. Shout out to them. They had me come out and coach, and anytime I'm on the sideline, what time that means. I think they had Coach Schuler I think he's the offensive coordinator from Central, and they had Teddy Bridgewater over on the other sideline as well too. And we held them to a brisk, to a tidy 15 points. Like, with the Dade County All-Stars as their arsenal, we gave them a nice little 2 touchdowns in the All-Star game. Like,
with 2 of the best wide receivers kind of like coming out of high school that they had on this team.
And then some of the kids played, some of them did it. I mean, but we had some kids who didn't play as well too, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, anytime they roll that football out there and keeping score, we plan to win.
Hey man, so I will tell you this: I didn't get an opportunity to check that game out, but I did see a particular video of the boy one JT out there giving out nuggets to the young group out there. So you talking to one of the kids about what he's supposed to do when he see a dig right in front of him. Go get that. Like I I listened to the knowledge that you were passing on to the game, and it just kind of like it made me proud. Like I don't know why I was proud, but it was just nice to see. Like it was nice to see that. Like
same thing. Why am I crying? Why am I crying?
Yeah, but like it was just nice to see. It was nice to see my boy get out there, just kind of pass on a little bit of that knowledge to those guys, and then to come out with the win on top of that. That means that the knowledge translated onto the field. So shout out to you. Always taking a step forward, improving those coaching chops, but just making sure that you always be like giving back to the game, like by throwing some of that wisdom down to the kids.
I appreciate that a ton, man. It's always my pleasure. Like the kids make it very enjoyable, and then like for them to experience winning, I think that's something everyone should experience, or doing anything at a high level. I think that's how we're paid in all of that we invest into ourselves, the kids. Like it was a great game. Like went down to the end, like literally won with seconds, ticking off the clock with a field goal, right? Hard-fought game, and the kids stormed the field. For some kids, that was their state championship. You know what I mean? One of our kids, Sean Pascal, actually won the MVP of the game. He ended up, catching maybe a 5-yard, dump off and takes it 30, 40 yards to put us in field goal position to win the game. Now he's been doing that all year. But to do it on the platform in front of his peers, I know that meant a lot to him. Probably did a little bit something for his stock as well too. So it was just really cool, man. So I always look at that as just my way of paying it forward, man. At the end of the day, when it comes to coaching the game,
I also think like for the children, like that's one of the premier opportunities that they have in order to kind of show, like one last opportunity to show coaches what they can do out there, and on a stage like that, like. We all know that this area breeds talent, so some of the bigger names are going to draw crowds, but it gives kids an opportunity to kind of stand out in a situation like that and maybe get themselves a chance. So, shout out to all the kids for being able to put something on out there, putting on a show. Hopefully, everybody came out of there healthy, and people got an opportunity to see an entertaining game between some of the best talent that these schools down there have to offer. So.
Yeah, it was a pretty healthy ordeal for the most part on our side. I didn't see any kids get banged up too bad. That's always a thing. Not only did they have the high school kids, but they also had like a youth football game. They had a little, as in a little league football.
All-star game.
Yeah, and they had a 8th grade game as well too. Like they had a couple different youth football games leading up into the high school game. It was pretty cool. Yeah, kid, man, played for the Miami-Dade Ravens, I believe. Hope I ain't mixing that up. His name is Lil Rod. I'm saying, like number 3, and he's probably going to end up down there, at one of the big schools in Miami. It's Central to West, But yeah, man, I'm watching these kids. I think he picked one off, took it all the way back to the house, like. Yeah, man, our kids are super talented. They had a chance to do it at, on a dope platform over at Florida Blue Center.
Yeah,
the training center. That's this old Lockhart Stadium. That's where Inter Miami plays, and they did a really, really good job at creating an environment that the kids could appreciate. So, yeah, man, it was pretty cool.
One of these days when I watch soccer, we can talk about Inter Miami. I know the boy Messi over there. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, we will. We'll definitely have to go see one of those games in person, right? Yeah. And the other, you have your high school all-star games, but then you'll have your college all-star games coming up as well too. That'll be something that we'll see up in the future. In the meantime, let's talk a little college recruiting. So let's start with this. If I ain't mistaken, like these reports are never official unless you're the kid, unless you know the kid personally. But it seems to be like a $10 million deal coming together. Let me make sure I look that up to be sure it's not 14. But there's a kid coming out of Louisiana, Bryce Underwood, probably about 6'4", at least 225 pounds. He just made first round NFL quarterback money before he left high school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we're at now in college football. And I have a few other kids that I'll highlight, that we talk about maybe switching from one school or another, but just right there, right? Do you think that we have like a $10 million kid in the household right now, Roy? I mean, if Lil Lexington can, I mean, we need to make sure. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you like this: Lex played his first soccer game ever. He scored the first goal of the game. I saw Ronaldo personally. That's what I saw. Okay. So I might need to invest in that area. But to the point though, no. Like, I don't think there's a $10 to $14 million child anywhere in the country that has never yet seen the field. It's just look, I get it. Highly touted. He's going to Michigan. Their quarterback, I think he tore his ACL in the bowl game. So they're going through a year, but they also brought in Mikey King from Fresno State. So they bought in another quarterback. So it's not even a certainty that Bryce Underwood is even going to start at Michigan.
Wow. Okay.
So I mean, more power to you. Like, if you're gonna pay this young man, they pretty much better start him. Otherwise, he's just
yeah. You're gonna get a lot like the league where it's not if you're going to start if we pay you $10 million.
Correct, but I think
we need to return our investment.
Michigan needed some kind of experience behind center last year, and Mikey King kind of tore them apart when they played each other. So he's brought in there this is an open quarterback competition. They've already said that. So I don't know, bro. I'm a little trepidatious about paying kids before they step on the field. You don't know what the product could be or is. But I mean, if he's everything that he's touted to be, then Bryce Underwood is talented, for sure. But yeah, no, I don't think we should. They got to get a handle on this, JT.
Yeah.
They got to get something done with this, bro.
Yeah, you got the Branch kid from USC making a big transfer to Georgia. Zachariah Branch, one of the best receivers in the country when he was coming out, and now he's gonna. It's weird because it seemed like they were not, like he was somewhat in the doghouse during this year to where he wasn't as productive. It's almost like when the writing's on the wall. If a coach is hearing that you're going to leave, you're probably not going to get the ball a whole lot at that school.
No, you're not.
That's what it kind of seemed like in that situation, right?
Coaches be mad.
I feel like if you're going to sign with one of the best teams in the country, I feel like you got an inkling, somewhere during the season. And now with the college football, timelines until they get it worked out, it's like a natural conflict of interest. So you to play in my bowl game and be be committed to another team at the same time. You want me to go out here and risk my body for a team that I ain't even technically I ain't even on no more.
I don't play for you. All right. I'm not on this team.
That's becoming so evident. And it's just do you get your ring or not?
You gonna get it. You gonna get it. I mean, we paid for it. Everybody getting paid nowadays. That kind of brings me to but it also brings up an interesting one. Think about somebody like Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers could potentially enter the transfer portal.
Right.
He stands to make
championship potential.
Yeah, he stands to make more money in college by staying in college another year than he does as an NFL rookie. So why would he leave? You know what I mean? This is kind of what is he thinking about on the field? He knows that he's not a starting quarterback for Texas next year. He knows he might be going to another school. Is he going to be out there trying to win a national championship, or is he going to be out there trying to protect himself for his payday next year?
Right. 2025.
That is that's college football. You got
Right.
kids
And
making grown man decisions.
Yeah, I'm just, that's where we are, at this point. It is what it is. Man, another little college football recruiting piece, and I won't spend too long on this because I don't like to talk too much back and forth about the youth, about the high school kids, right? Until they start to actually make money, because that's what they're doing now at college. They can be scrutinized a little bit more. But we just had a kid, decommit from West Virginia, DeAndre Desano, a cool kid. I met with him. Like, I like the kid a lot. I meant, like, he's in that Noel Devine, Tavon Austin-ish, like, I hate to just throw those names out there because those are some West Virginia legends, but maybe he had that potential, right? He just transferred to NC State, and I'm more power to the brother. And I'll tell you this, right? If they cut a bigger check, we ain't really talking about nothing anyway, right? Because at that point, he got a grown man decision to make, and I'm okay with that, right?
Sure.
But if he took a second to research Rich Rodriguez, I mean, we would run for 400, 500, 600 yards a game at times, bro. Not saying that he won't mix in a little bit more pass these days, but he's a spread run, kind of guy. And it's just like, I look at that and at least give it a serious thought, Hey man, this
and
guy.
Just another kind of like aspect of it, like Rich Rod has put running backs of your same archetype in the NFL. I don't know who NC State coach is. Nothing. I won't pretend like I know what's going on there. But like, if to your point, like if they offered you something that West Virginia couldn't, more power to you. But like when you're thinking about who you are as a player and who your future is, like who the coach is matters.
Don't really know what's going on there. That says a lot.
You got to do some research.
No. I'm just saying that's where they're at. I don't know what's really going. Like, the last thing I knew about NC State, the D coordinator there was my defensive back coach in college. He's now the head coach of Marshall University, Coach Tony Gibson, and he's going to play some good football right down the road from us at West Virginia. That's all I knew. I didn't even know the head guy's name, kind of thing. That's no knock on him. I love to meet him one day. We'll have him on the show, right? But it's more like I think people kind of know where we are right now as a program when it comes to West Virginia. Like, we just got our heart and soul, like our engine back. Like, and our guys are the most prominent guys on the media outlets. I mean,
if I'm being correct, like, didn't they add Steve Slayton to the staff?
No, that was Noel Devine.
Noel Devine got added to the staff. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels a lot like 07, like where it was kind of like he bringing that feel.
I'm a running back. That's a clear sign. Like, hey, we going back to that.
Correct.
Like, we go look at his highlight tape. Like,
hey JT, I don't know if you want to take time to make your pitch right quick. If you need somebody in that linebacker room.
Here's the thing, right? We got some things working. I just try not to scare us off, so to speak, right? I never I got a little brother right there in Morgantown, right? Be a great back, smart kid, loyal to the program, third generation. I don't want to go. You get what I mean?
We ain't got to do it, but
public adventures there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think like if kids need to like be aware of it, at least like if you're in a program and they get like some turnover there, like before you make that decision because it's new or whatever or unfamiliar, like make sure you do your research on who this is that they're bringing in and what they mean to kind of the program that you're committed to. Like, if Rich Rod might be new to you, but he ain't new to West Virginia, and he ain't new to football, and he ain't new to winning football at this university. Like, there's a lot that can be learned there. But again, like they put you in a grown man position and you made a grown man choice. So more power to you. Blessings to you, brother. Wishing you much success over there at NC State. But I'm with JT, and like you got to at least like investigate kind of what's going on where you at to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position for yourself, your family, and your future.
Who knows? Maybe this kid blows it out of the water, just makes it eat his dust, and that's what you hope. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, right? That's what you hope. But yeah, and then outside of that, man, I'm just seeing that all the way down into the high school level, kids are moving around, man.
Yeah.
From us at Ely High School to I just watched St. Thomas win a state championship. They got plenty of kids jumping the boat to Chaminade. And it's like you just won back-to-back state championships.
But Chaminade is more prominent nationally, right?
Well, they're all kind of right there neck and neck. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it's one thing or other that makes the kids move around anymore.
They just
I think it's just like, hey, I'm going to go win over here, then I'm going to go over here and play with my boy. It's like the video game.
It's like go win over here.
It's like being in the park on 2K. They want to go play at this park, and they want to go in the NBA 2K shop and change their clothes and play over here at this. Like, that's the era that we're living in. From the college to the high school ranks to where, and I was just talking to my buddy Leroy Reynolds about this. Today we're just talking some ball. Being that we've experienced the league, like now college and even high school, it's like the league. Every year, no, not even player empowerment. Every year you can expect to have a whole new team. Like it's not a come here, we develop you for we don't have 2-3 years to develop you anymore. And that could be for good or bad, right? If you come to my school and I develop you well, you go to St. Thomas on me. Right? And it's not because anything that I didn't do, you just want something different.
That puts a coach in a tough spot too.
Because we could win a state championship and you'll want something different.
So let me ask you this: like, does that put more emphasis on coaches to build out programs? Like, do you have time to build a program, considering that you're getting like talent coming in and out the door on a yearly basis? So there's hardly any room to build consistency. Can you build a program like
that? And this is where I asked for the close up, like to zoom in on me, right? But it's one of them things where these days you have to build a process, not a person, not a program. You have to build a process because, the programs don't always travel with you and the kids don't either. You have to build something that you can own, that you can embody and possess that no one can take from you. So like, that's my advice on how to defeat some of these recruiting woes that the coaches and leaders are feeling in these programs. So, and that's my 2 cents on that, to where if you start to try to build a person, you'll build them all right up into the St. Thomas's, next recruit. If you try to build the program right, you'll find yourself pigeonholed, at times when it comes to that. But if you build a process, like that's something that, the kids can take with them as they grow into young men as well too. Right. Sometimes, you can wear the program on your skin, on your, in your handle. But like when you learn how something operates, like you end up taking that with you. So that's my 2 cents, man, on that.
Well, to your point, like even St. Thomas isn't immune to like the first two options. Like people program, like they build up both. St. Thomas is a well-regarded program, and they're not immune from their students leaving to go to trying to experience other things in that space. I think that's a very interesting notion to try and say build a process as a coach. Because are you talking about like a process like schematically? Are you talking about like an offense? Or are you talking about build a process of like a factory of like football here? Like
a predictable process of like successful outcomes, right?
Yeah.
We want to be able to somewhat predict wins without any variance, so to speak, if we're talking process, right?
Yeah.
when I say that, it's almost like
that could be a scheme.
The schemes are just a part of it. It's more of how to get the most out of your resources during the shortest amount of time. Like how to most efficiently navigate the waters of talent, training and development, and being organized, like, how to efficiently navigate those things so that even if you gave me a kid who wasn't a 4 or 5 star, he can come be a part of this program and it works for him. Or, if he's that 4 or 5, that 3 or 4, that he comes in and is even a better player than he was without us, right?
You're talking about like college level, like institution, like in terms of like program wise, like you're talking about college level institution at the high school level. So that's going to require commitment to a certain degree. And I think that's the variance that you can't account for at the high school level. With college kids, you can kind of like, there's the scholarship there to kind of hold people accountable. Like, you are here because of this money that we're giving you. So there's still like a required level of performance, a required level of participation. At high school, I think the challenge in creating process is that it is all voluntary. Like for the athletes, like it is all voluntary. They can stop mid process because they don't want to, and that to me makes it hard to like. Yeah, so that to me makes it hard to kind of remove the variance that you're talking about. But I find it interesting that at least you have like a way to do it, because I couldn't even begin to think of a way to like structure a program when you have to deal with students essentially having like a free agency from the time that they're in high school.
Oh man, every year, and it's like, okay, first, right? I got to get you recruited out, right? I got to attract the right colleges that actually take you to the next level. It's becoming harder there. You got JUCO as an additional layer now. Like that's a whole conversation in episode itself.
Trying to convince kids that they are JUCO level players is another challenge that you're gonna come to there. Like that you are not Ohio State talented, you are Blinn College worthy. That's what you need to be. But but it's like
now you got the transfer for portal, right? So recruiting out is his own thing. Then you got to recruit like your own team first, even before you recruit people in, right? Like you have to recruit your players back, like your players and coaches. Like, hey guys, are you going to stay? Kind of thing. And then you might be able to. You can't even recruit at the public level. You got to attract, talent to want to be a part of what you're doing. You know what I mean?
I know we got to move on, but like this is an interesting topic to me. So I'm just like, and new things just keep popping into my head. Like, what happens in a situation where it's like, the requirement is for, to a certain extent, for the teachers to be affiliated with the schools or the coaches to be affiliated with the schools in order to be a coach. How does that impact your actual job? Having to build that type of program, like you have to recruit. You can't do that during your lunch break. You can't. you can't attract.
Once again, right, in the public school system, like there's no recruiting. Right now, you can advertise your progress as a program. You can attract people.
There is no recruiting in the public school system.
My name is JT Thomas, and there is no recruiting in the public school system. Yeah, but and that's where we are these days. That's where we are. And for me, right, it becomes how do we make this more about building a program than chasing a kid, or anything else besides what matters most when it comes to team building, right? Okay, let's talk a little bit more ball. I will say this college football playoff, this is interesting. I like it.
Do you now?
It's different. If I'm picking my bracket, the only upset that I would have had on my bracket would have been Notre Dame over Georgia.
The only upset was Texas over Arizona State. Really an upset?
No, that's why I'm just like, this is how my bracket would have looked. Okay. Besides Georgia not beating Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I have an Ohio State, Penn State national championship with Ohio State winning it.
Yeah. It feels obvious.
Yeah, and I like Penn State. I got guys over at Penn State.
Yeah, but Ohio State has probably the most unguardable player left in this tournament.
I like the way Penn State run the ball, bro.
I understand, bro. Ohio State, and Ohio State might not even be the best team left.
Next week episode's conversation, like we talk about a game that may or may not, take place, right? But
if I was even the games that take place now, like Ohio State's been the most explosive team in terms of like offensively in this tournament.
And here's what I'm factoring in: Ohio State is feeling somewhat embarrassed that they haven't beat Michigan in the last 4 years. Like Ryan Day is fighting for his livelihood. Like you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think you're coaching a little harder when you're coaching for your livelihood. Like
he's putting up a show, bro. Like he's putting on a show.
That's what I mean. Like he's coaching hard right now. Like his guys are locked in because he's locked in. And I think that kind of trickles down throughout the program. I think that loss versus Michigan was the best thing that could have happened to them.
Yeah. And that weak ass bracket that they was in, like that's also
right.
I'm not gonna act like that. Like I think Texas
had a smoother ride than others, bro.
You feel me? You feel like Texas is another program. Like shout out to Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Texas, but they,
I thought Arizona State fought hard. They almost pulled it off.
Cam Scatterbo, like he's earned a lot of respect from me in terms of like who he is as a college football player. I've heard some people talk about his NFL prospects, and I was just like, let's hold off on. Let's not do that. Let's leave him. Let's leave him where he will be greatest.
He gonna use us as fuel though. Like he does have that dog in him that eats on what we're doing right now.
Sure, but also
like his game, like
but like also like I don't see it
up to him right now.
Sure, and more power to him. I hope he's able to use this as fuel. But I'm just gonna tell you, I've seen Peyton Hillis. I've seen Toby Gerhart. I know what Cam Scatterbo is.
Okay.
A slow white running back. That's what it is.
Boy, you dumb boy.
Like he is good. Like he is a dog of a football player at the college level. I don't project that to be the case in the NFL. Like there might be some fullback in his future or something like that, and he could be effective at that. I just don't see him being able to have that level. Like he could be effective, but like he's not going to be any team's number one bell cow running back at the NFL level.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, you the football expert here. You tell me if you see something different.
Only time I will say this, man, it's all about timing. It's all about the right system. Like, I'll say this, fit too. Like even more than the system, like you got to be in a good city.
Okay.
Like with the right number.
Okay.
Like you got to all align. Like it got to all make sense with his brand, who he is, and then he's going to have to find a coach who believes in him the same way the coaches at ASU believe in him.
Okay, so let me throw something out there for you. A city that has embraced somebody like him. They got kind of like this tough-minded culture going on right there. Tampa Bay. They slot that number 40 on them. Like I like the way Baker kind of
like. I like what you're doing there, though. Like, you just did something to me just then. Like, this, even comparing. Now, I don't think he's as big of a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hate to go into the whole measuring him in that way, but I think he's more of a true tailback than like to where Allstott was like a fullback back there for real.
But Allstott got the ball, too. And like it's just like that's what I'm saying. Like run
Yeah.
hard, short yardage situations. Even Kyle Juszczyk, to a certain extent, like you get the ball in short yardage situations, and you can possibly break it. Just like he got enough to get to the end zone. Like he can touch paint.
And I would say this: the only difference is Marshawn was way fast, but like he gives me beast mode vibes. He's just not as fast as beast mode was.
He ain't going. Like I can tell you, like he ain't going easily.
I think
Like he
beast
ain't
mode
going
was
quietly into the.
Like something crazy. Like I think beast mode was like 4.4.
That was a specimen coming out of there. Like he's crazy though. But Bo Scatterbo, like he's not gonna be that. He like a 4.7 guy, but it's like also like just that he has an ability. I think he can play at the NFL level. I think he can be effective. But I just I don't want to.
And rather than making like this about the the Bo Scatterbo's Cam Scatterbo's draft. Yo, he's a college football playoff legend
for sure.
Like he's cemented himself. Like
for sure, put the team on his back.
Yeah, he
got
that
second half. That second half, brother.
Yeah,
Rolex. Oh,
yeah. He don't have to do nothing else. Like
he made Texas sweat. I can tell you that.
Man, he could go back to ASU and be an ambassador. He ain't got to be nothing.
yeah, but I think he does have aspirations to go to the league, and so like I hope he gets his opportunity to go up there and be effective. But yeah, like I said, like I'll see like bell cow back, but I do see like in a good situation where he can be like a really good player for somebody.
Yeah, I like Ohio State over Texas. I think shoot, I could see Manning maybe with Bill next year in North Carolina too, man. They're saying Ewers can leave, but I see Arch potentially leaving too.
Well, you saw like some people saying like the NFL trying to lure Bill back.
Okay, they ain't even letting them sit. They're like, no, we can't have you down.
No, we can't have you down there. Like, no, not I go. We might got something for you up here.
Okay, like we didn't know you wanted to coach that bad.
You feel me? Hold on, let us clear the decks right quick. So you saw like a lot. It's been a lot of kind of like movement going on. I don't want to take the show too far off track, but like my mind is naturally like segueing to like the Patriots situation. 1 year with Gerard Mayo as the head coach. And sorry guys, this wasn't on the plan run sheet or whatever, but like 1 year with Gerard Mayo as the head coach, rookie quarterback, plays like 9 games or so, and they fire him.
Yeah, that was different.
Antonio Pierce, same situation over there in Oakland. Like it's tough out here. You know what I mean? Like it's tough out here to get a job. Harder to even keep it when they put you in like a situation, give you no help, and then have these. I don't know what were the expectations set at if one season was enough to get Gerard Mayo fired. Like what did you set the bar at? Bill had been here 20 years. He leaves the franchise. You're in a rebuilding phase.
And I'll say this, because we're going to transition to some NFL stuff anyway, right?
Yeah.
This is like upward pressure that this whole college football like playoff and system is like putting on the league too. Not like, hey, we got to get this figured out. Like they're saying that we're killing quarterbacks when we get them. Kids are staying longer. Mm-hmm. Kids are staying college is fighting for the kids to stay enrolled, and the league is fighting for them to come on out. Like, so it's interesting, the dynamic and how they all work together. So, yeah,
as you see, like I think for me, like what it is, like for better or for worse, it's an opportunity for people to have longer football careers. Like if you are a college kid who you may not have an opportunity at the next level, but you still love the game and you still want to play the game, bro. Like this gives you an opportunity to play the game a little bit longer. You know what I mean? NFL, like I don't think it works the same way with the NFL, but the NFL has a problem too. They're losing kind of their golden era of quarterbacks, and they haven't quite found, the next crop that could be coming in the foreseeable future after the big three, if you want to call them that. Just kind of transition into the next phase of their careers.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I got another hot topic for you, bro.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Tyreek being out in Miami? Well, not literally out.
Yeah.
Like,
The exit, the interview. So I feel like this is always this is yeah, this has been funny to me from the beginning. So like Tyreek Hill has kind of been in this jilted ex-girlfriend role with Kansas City the entire time he's been here, like always referencing Mahomes and all that. And I think what happens is this is the first time Tyreek Hill has missed the playoffs in his NFL career. The first time he's missed the Pro Bowl in his NFL career. He caught like a substantially less amount of passes, like almost 50, 60 less passes this year. Got 800 less yards this year, and is again dealing with an injured quarterback who just got paid a bunch of money. Tyreek Hill got his money, and I think he's checked out on this organization. And he's ready to move on. Like, he got his money. I'm going to get paid. I need to get paid somewhere else, though, where I can go back to winning. Because the perception around Tyreek Hill is starting to fade quickly. It's that people are asking, like, whether or not you are out.
No, I'm just that's what he said. Like, you know, and here's what I remember. Like, when I just saw that, first of all, I remember how fast they would come in that locker room. Like, before we can get like our minds together, I did bodies together, like to where, like, you know, we butt naked in there by the time they rushing in there, right? And
Yeah.
they run up on you when you as bad as you could possibly be. But like, and then obviously bro got some things off the field, like a lot been going on, like to where bro is like got a lot going on, right? So
yeah,
they ran up on him, and what we got was like his unfiltered, like raw, like and how he feels like currently, like at that time.
He had just been eliminated from the playoffs.
And bro, hey, I'm out, bro. I'm out. Like, to where, in so many words, like, you know, all that you said boiled down to, I'm out, bro. And when you say
I
that,
think, yeah, like, it's tough, like, especially when you're the team captain.
Oh wow, wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying, JT? Like, it's so many. Yeah, come on, bro. Like, it's so much. It's so much going into it. You want 3 aspects. You can't talk about accountability and not talk about how many passes you've dropped this year. Like,
hey, bro, I see you a different kind of like you're a different kind of cat. I see that. Like, bro, you more of a realist. Like, more of an optimist. Like,
yeah. But you also understand this from like a player's perspective. Like, you've been in an NFL locker room, so it's like you understand like the different. You understand like people have lives outside of football. Like, you know what I'm saying, and so you can understand how that stuff translates onto the field. I do not have that context, and I do not speak like I have that context. You are getting paid a bunch of money to go out there and catch a football. And you didn't catch it. Like, you caught some, you didn't catch others. You didn't perform to the level that most people, like, you were supposed to be an elevator. And I understand that wide receiver is a dependent position. Your quarterback is not playing. I understand that all contextually. But you are Tyreek Hill. You were voted #1 player in the NFL last year by your peers. And you did not do #1 player shit out there to get your team to the playoffs. And so you cannot point the finger at the rest of your team and not hold yourself accountable. I think that's a message that is preached in locker rooms. Like, I think that is something that players actually feel that y'all try not to say because y'all don't want to step on each other's toes. There's politics in locker rooms, so y'all can't breach that dynamic. But I can, because I'm not an NFL player. I don't know Tyreek Hill. He don't know me. Yeah. Like, and if he do know me, I say this to Tyreek Hill. Like, brother.
Yeah, and once again, this show is brought to you by the Basement Sports Network.
I'm sorry.
We just like to thank our sponsors for the production, man, because without them, we couldn't do this. You know, it might be a little bit different over here than over there, but we love Basement Sports Network, and we could not do this without them. No, bro. No, honestly, though, bro. Hey, I appreciate your authenticity for one. Hey, and the accountability, like as being a fan of the game, like you have a threshold that you can cross. You're watching, you're expecting, like there is this social contract that we sign. Once you're a fan, like you get to be critical.
Yeah, I also understand as fans, like we can't turn athletes into like objects. These are people that we're talking. They have livelihoods. Like as a man, like I sympathize with Tyreek Hill for whatever it is that's making him feel like he can no longer experience like the football, the joy of the life that he came to Miami to experience. But as a fan of the game, bro, like I have expectations for like Tyreek Hill as a player, bro, and those expectations were set by your previous performances. And so, like, I have like when you don't make the playoff and then you pout, you know what I mean? When you're not having success, and then I believe like failure reveals more about character than success does. And that to me was an indictment on his character from my perspective and my perspective alone. I do not speak for this entirety of this pod. Like I want to give JT the floor to kind of like express like the player's perspective, but however he looks at the situation. But for me, bro, like it's just like he set a precedent for how he should play. He did not live up to that. And then in the midst of that disappointment, he felt like he quit on the team. That to me, as a fan, as a enjoyer of the product, felt unacceptable in a way that like it makes you sympathize with Dolphins fans and be like, hey, bro, if they want him out of here, I can fully understand that.
And then you feel less bad about what he got going on because like, hey, it's not like you didn't have opportunity here. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right. This year has been a dope year for ball, right? Like I'll start with one, right? Saquon Barkley, just amazing feat, right? 2,000 yards. I'd have played in the last game. I'd have went ahead and broke that record right in front of the Giants' face. I know I probably enough for me. But I would have had to break that record. Just I think he'll look back and would want to have broken. But then we got really this is really a duel when it comes down to the MVP joint right now between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. And Roy, I don't know if you have those side by side stats, but they're both having record breaking years. Lamar's numbers are actually a little bit better than Josh's numbers this year. Josh's team is doing a little bit better. And I'll tell you this, bro, this is not bad for a running back, bro. Like, not bad for a running back when it comes to Lamar. Like, this kid's throwing for 4,000 yards, man. 4 interceptions, bro. You know how hard that is to do?
Absolutely.
I wonder if they go back and see how many guys who've thrown for 4,000 yards and only 4 interceptions. He may be the only person ever.
Yeah, bro, like I think the conversation between who's the best like dual threat quarterback of all time is over. And like I think Lamar Jackson has clearly like run away with that conversation. Here's the interesting thing about this race between him and Josh Allen. Josh Allen has the same case for MVP that Lamar won it with last year, whereas his numbers aren't as good. Because you remember last year, Dak Prescott had a phenomenal season in terms of like numbers. And they gave it to Lamar Jackson because he had more wins, like, and it felt more impactful. That's what it feels like with Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen is,
I thought last year was his year. I think they're also giving him these ones because they're like, damn, this got to be the year he about to win the Super Bowl too, right? Like it feels like that every year.
Yeah, and that's because he's kind of like he's elevated himself. But the reason that they're not winning Super Bowls is because of him. Like he's changing his game in the playoffs. Like he feels like he's trying to rely on his arm to prove to people that he can throw. And this year, it has not felt like that. It felt like as soon as the opening appears for him to run the ball, he's taking it. Give credit to Derrick Henry for what he's been able to add to this offense. But I think Lamar Jackson has been the clear-cut MVP, bro. Like to me, it feels absurd to think. Yeah. But Josh Allen, though, like I got to give Josh Allen his flowers, though, bro. Like he's doing it with nothing. Like I not nothing,
Yeah, I'm about
don't
to
want
say they
to
play
call.
some good defense out there. Like
Yeah, I don't want to call these NFL players nothing. But
and
like
look, James Cook is like leading the league in X amount of years. Like he's doing a good thing.
touchdowns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
but like
can
Josh Allen is really carrying. Like Josh Allen is carrying over there. Like he's putting that team on his back several times.
yeah, he
Like
is. He is.
he's stunting right
He's
now. And
carrying
so
it.
like I want to give him his flowers, bro. But I'm sorry, like I can't. And there is a bias in there. I will fully admit that I have a bias towards Lamar Jackson. That
Yeah,
that
I get you
that
saying.
that pumping bias runs strong.
I'm with you, soldier. What? I get
Yeah,
you
but like I think even with the bias aside, like his statistics warrant a third MVP for him, bro. And that puts him
I
in
don't see
rarefied
them.
air.
I don't see them giving him another one. Like as good as he is, and as much as I think that he had a better year than Josh, I think that just like that recency bias to where they're gonna want it to give it to someone else, being that he just won it. I think that is also like a face of the league kind of like type trophy too. And I think that they might want to see a little bit more balance when it comes to who they think the best player in the league is. Now I don't know who makes up maybe it's the fans' votes. And if it's the fans' votes, I think that we'll get a more true idea of who the MVP is.
Well,
Right?
think about it from a competitive standpoint too. Like I think what it is like Josh Allen has gone toe to toe with the guy. You know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes is the man. Like he's the face of the league, and Josh Allen feels like he's more of a contemporary than an understudy in games that matter. Like Lamar Jackson's regular seasons have been phenomenal, but in the playoffs, it's always Josh Allen and Mahomes that's like duking it out. So
I beg to.
he does.
I think they got a little triangulation going on there. Like Mahomes ended up whooping them both at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would say has Lamar beat either one of them? No, I don't think Lamar's beat either one of them.
Okay.
In the playoffs. Like I don't think he's beat either one of them. So like that's kind of why he's like pushed to the side in terms of like that conversation. They can't deny his talent. They can't deny his accolades in terms of like regular season. But in terms of postseason success, when you're looking for like a face of the league, like it means something to win in the postseason. And so Josh Allen has a little bit more success there, but he doesn't have that MVP award to kind of like put him on the same footing as a Mahomes or even Lamar. To be honest with you, like he don't have no trophies, and so that might be to your point where it's like Josh Allen has had a MVP worthy season, and there may be some voter fatigue with Lamar Jackson, so we might go ahead and just and give it to Josh this year. But that doesn't mean that I think both of them are deserving candidates to be honest.
Yeah, either way, they're both crushing them, bro. And I want to see them in the playoffs against each other. Like,
me too.
I want to see them go after it. Yeah, they're crushing them, and the young guys, especially the quarterbacks, it's definitely a new era, of quarterbacks and generation of guys coming. Man, I'm happy for the guys. They're doing a great job at whipping it around. The game is kind of built for them these days, and they're doing a lot with that authority. So, hey, it is what it is.
I got a quick question for you before we move on to the next topic. Sticking with the NFL, how interesting do you find it that the Cincinnati Bengals had like players leading in multiple statistical categories and did not make the playoffs?
I think that says a lot about the competitiveness in the NFL. To where you can have success in a lot of things, still not always be successful at winning. And it's not because you're not good or that you didn't have a very productive season. Right. I mean,
they got the Triple Crown winner.
I was just about to say Jamar Chase, won the Triple Crown, Yeah, just really interesting when it's that much production. I think they're going to have some moves to make here with T. Higgins' contract coming up, because that leads to production too. Now, having someone else on the other side equally as talented as you lead to you being open a lot more than if it ain't.
T. Higgins won me 2 fantasy leagues this year.
I'm about to say, okay. I'm about to say, Tyreek Hill.
Come on now. I mean, Jalen Waddle's there, but it's just like that's another problem that Miami has. Like they got the little speedy guys on the outside, but they don't really have like that possession receiver.
I'm about to say Jalen Waddle ain't Travis Kelce. Like he don't demand 2 of them like like a Kelsey.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you gotta commit. There gotta be some physicality out there. I think overall with the Miami Dolphins, that's what they need. They need a little bit more physicality offensively. I think Jalen Ramsey had a pretty good year defensively. There's been some talk about him moving to safety. I think I'd like it.
He can do it all, bro. He's pretty talented. You know, it's like he can do it all.
He is, but it's like as a cornerback, bro. Like, you know, there comes a time
when you start to see yourself as safety. That's their way of saying that you're getting a little long tooth, like, where we don't want you to have to chase everybody around all the time.
Use your mind. Use your mind out there on the field.
Quarterback of the deal. That don't mean he can't go still, but
it just means that there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to prolong your career.
They did it with the great ones, the Charles Wilsons of the world. So
it prolonged his career, and so like I think that's something that maybe he needs to be open to, just kind of give it a shot, bro. You could be a great safety. To be honest with you, you are a great cornerback. Nobody's going to take that away from you. But I think it may be time for him to kind of like transition. Even though he's had a really good season, but I think it's time for him to transition to safety.
Yeah. Okay, man. But you know, I know time flies, guys, and we like to keep this thing fun. We like to leave this thing at least with a hot take. You want me to pop this thing off?
I low-key wanted to do this last topic, even though we went a little bit long, bro.
I was still gonna do it.
Oh, let's do it.
And that's what my hot take is, to where Joy Taylor didn't do it.
I don't know.
Now you know what, man. I try to keep it,
yeah,
PG-13 on this platform, and
right.
With me being married, I try to stay out of other folks' business too, right?
For sure.
Very interesting times over at ESPN.
So this is what I say. It's Fox Sports 1. So she over there at FS1. Yeah. So I will say this: like, in no way do I feel like Joy Taylor in the current role that she's in more than qualified. If these never came out, then you would say like everything that she has done, well deserved, merit based.
Okay. Like, I don't know her as well. You may know.
Yeah, so
I know her face. I know her, and
sure. But her background, like she's Jason Taylor's like sister, but she does have a background in radio, a background in journalism. So like her rise. Like she paid her dues. She paid her dues to be where she is. Like that's not, nobody can question that. Like no, for real. Like as a journalist, she paid her dues to get where she is. You feel me?
All right, go ahead.
So like this is what I will say. Like I listened to Stephen A. talk about kind of like Skip's role in this, and he was saying that the man that he's known, and I trust their relationship more than kind of public opinion on Skip Bayless. He said the man that he's known is too cheap to even attempt to do something like this. Like, and so for me, if I'm going to take Stephen A. at his word, which I will, if that part of the story is faulty, then a whole lot of this needs some more work done in terms of investigating before we go to casting aspersions on people in the way that they've managed their careers. I am not about slandering people without all the facts coming out. So it's like, let the justice system play out, let them do their jobs. And then I'd rather not just kind of, speculate on whether or not who did what. Like, people are grown, people do grown people things. So would I be surprised if something happened, like some inappropriate work things happen, not with just Joy Taylor, but anybody? I wouldn't be surprised if some things like that may have been taken out of context. I don't know. I'd rather wait for the paperwork to tell me. So I'm going to take people at their word, bro. I do know that Joy Taylor is a qualified voice in sports. I listen to her opinions when she talks about sports, and I agree with that. That is what her job is. That is how I interact with her. You talk to me about sports. That's all I really care.
It hits you a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like watching her put her journey together, kind of thing.
Yeah, watching somebody, and then watching somebody trying to attack, kind of like your character. When character is one of the biggest parts of journalism. I am a former professional journalist. That is my background.
I'm more worried about Joy Taylor than who even filed the lawsuit.
Yeah, like what does this do to her reputation? Because even speculation alone can ruin her reputation on this network.
Right. I don't even know who that other person is. And really,
the hairdresser.
Just in general, though, the public ain't so worried about who filed it. They're more worried about her and whoever it was, so
for sure.
Yeah.
So I ain't trying to play that game. I'm not in the business of tearing down black women either. Not my bag. So now I'll let the courts tell me what she did before I make any kind of decisions in that regard. My hot take for this week, though, despite all the noise surrounding Jimmy Butler, I do not think the Miami Heat trade him.
Hey, bro.
I don't know.
All right, like, who haven't the Heat got rid of? Let's start with that list. Look, instead of us going down, because we ain't got enough time in this episode, we got these people who have been run out of here. All right, so who are we starting with again?
So right now we're gonna be building around Bam and Tyler like this. They ran Lonzo out of town. Come on, that's it. That's end of list. That's the only one who was able to make it his whole career. So like it's a tough situation, but I just don't think they're gonna be able to trade him, bro.
We'll keep an eye on that then, because really, right now, I don't know if anybody want him in this condition who don't got a problem with the Heat. And right now, the Heat ain't enough of the problem for nobody.
The problem is, like, he wants to go to Phoenix, and the only way, since Phoenix is over the second apron, the only way that Phoenix can trade him is by moving Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is the problem because his contract has a no-trade clause in it. So he has to sign off on any trade that happens. And Bradley Beal wants to go to the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat don't want Bradley Beal. And no other team in the league wants Bradley Beal because he has the worst contract in basketball.
Okay.
So if Miami don't take Bradley Beal won't sign out to be traded, and Miami can't send Jimmy Butler there.
Oh, this is deep.
It's drama.
Talking GM games now.
Come on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, brother. I'm deep out in these trenches. Follow me on Twitter for more of this.
Hey, look, I'm going to hold you to that take now. I'm going to be like tracking this. I'm on Jimmy tracker now.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, once again, man, thank you so much for being with us, guys. We're rocking and rolling, man. We're starting to do this thing live so y'all can maybe ask us a few questions as this thing going. But we're just giving it to y'all raw and real, man. And we look forward to seeing y'all next episode. Yee.